Duke Robert the Fox legitimately has claim to one of the best starts in CK3. Using this start, he can illegitimately claim the two bordering Roman empires, as well as unite them both. Using his highwaymen and his god-given talent, Robert can create the unholy offspring of the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. The Holy Byzantine Empire, if you will. So, grab your filthy bandits, and grab all 7 of your alliances, children, and let's conquer the Holy Byzantine Empire. This is the most broken start in the game. So, basically, you're started out with the meritocracy perk, which grants you the claim throne scheme against your liege. I use this quite often in my runs, and the fact that you have it right off the bat is just something that we don't even have to waste our time in. So, instead, we can spend it on authority focus, which will help us get some control, much needed control I might add, over the territory that we go to conquer, because we'll get things like Serve the Crown, which gives us control growth, and it can be kind of really helpful. But not only that, our army is extremely buffed. We have all of these martial perks that are going to help us actually defeat the enemy. And not only that, we have started on the gallantry, which gives us some additional knights and knight effectiveness, making our army's quality extremely high just straight off the bat. So that's really convenient for us. And then if we take a look at Robert the Fox himself, he is an exalted warlord. An exalted fucking warlord. Not many people are exalted warlords in this game. Just as an example, Genghis Khan is. It's incredibly difficult to get these education traits, and the fact that we just start the game out with it, along with an inheritable trait, makes this among the best starts of the game. But that's not the only thing. Duke Robert isn't the only blessed thing about this start. It's the location of our kingdom itself. And I'd say kingdom, but it's just a duchy right now. So it is positioned perfectly between the two of the largest empires in the game, the Byzantine Empire and the Holy Roman Empire. Actually, the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do, though, avoiding everything else, is we're going to go to our dynasty legacies here, and we're actually going to unlock one that most people don't go for. We're going to get the desirable match. Trust me, this is going to be super helpful. Normally the alliances that you're going to try and get are going to be like dukes and things like that. But with this one, I'll show you in the future. We don't want our allies just yet. We're going to wait on that. We will get allies, just wait on it. But make sure you get the desirable match. Now that we've got that though, we can go ahead and set ourselves up for a pilgrimage. We do need a pilgrimage as soon as possible, because we need a lot of piety for what I plan on doing here. There's a couple of different ways to get empires, but we're gonna click on the customize route, and we're gonna add a detour, and we're gonna put it in the water, because there's a lot of dangerous stuff in between us and Santiago. So if we just put it in the water, then that will limit our dangers, and that can easily be countered with the hiring experienced captains. And because of that, we're not really going to face anything too much. Also hire the mountaineer, because that will help us out a little bit. And then something else I want to go ahead and do is increase the pomp for this, but we do need some more money, so I'm just going to press play until we get enough money for that. And while I was waiting for that, we do have an event here. We can take all of the claims in all of Sicily, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. The Pope will like us a little bit less, and it is kind of important that he likes us, so you can always just sway the Pope. But we're going to go ahead and select this event because of the 750 men that we're going to go ahead and get. And nice, we have gone ahead and started our pilgrimage. And when we're going through the events for the pilgrimage, just make sure you select the ones that say most pious. Pilgrimages have been nerfed very recently, so that's why we need to take extra care to accept the more pious events. And something I'm going to do, just because I like him, is I'm going to go ahead and restore the inheritance of Bohemond here. And the reason why I like Bohemond, I'm just going to show you him real quick. We're just going to bring him up. Look at how tall he is compared to our ruler. He is a giant, and he's only like 13 here. He gets way taller, so it's kind of fun to play as him. Also, he did some shit in the First Crusade, if you know your history. So, alright, we're going to continuously select these. So we have achieved the second level of piousness, and we did get ourselves the 950 piety. If you aren't able to reach this, if you go to do this, go ahead and seek indulgences once you get enough money to do so. Anyways, we're not going to worry about that. What I am going to do is ask the Pope for a claim on our lad here. Give me a second. Oh shit, he won't accept it. We have a claim on everything, so we're just gonna wait to get out of debt really quickly. So what we're going to do is quickly conquer all of these counties right here. You shouldn't need to bring any allies in or anything like that. You should just be able to conquer them straight away. And it shouldn't even be a long war, because you can just split your armies up. We've won the first war, we've won the second war, and we've won the third war. Excellent. So now that we've won all three of those those wars, we have a plethora of titles, or at least 3 of them. So sometimes you might get this event, the Pretender Monk. We're gonna say, I'm not in a position to help you. Basically what this event does is it allows you to conquer Rome for this guy, which I don't give a fuck about this guy, so we're not gonna do that. Something you could potentially do is grab the 3,000 men, but they stand down after the war, so it's not really useful. You can claim an entire kingdom, but yeah, like I said, we're not gonna worry about that. Yeah, so we're gonna grant him some titles to make him love us. And that is our present goal. Now he has plus 100 opinion of us for some titles that we just got yesterday. Keep in mind, we damaged his reputation with us to get these titles, but now that we have them, he loves us. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and request a claim on this guy, because Pope doesn't love him, he loves us. So now we get a claim on the Holy Roman Empire. Very cool. Look at that shit. We have a claim on the Holy Roman Empire. Now, what do we do with this? Well, we can't really just press our claim right now. We could grab a bunch of alliances and shit like that, and we will, but not yet. Firstly, we're gonna swear fealty to this guy right here, the Byzantine Emperor. So once we swear fealty to him, we can immediately start a claim throne scheme against him. So yes, now we're going to, he's also given us the position of marshal. That should actually help us out with the claim throne scheme. I think that helps us out. A lot of people don't like him already. We have 9 agents against him. He will lose his throne pretty much. And during this time, as we have it paused here, I'm going to go ahead and marry off all of my children to secure alliances. These alliances are going to be some of the best alliances in the game because we did get that marriage acceptance plus 30. So we're going to be allying with people like England, France, rather than just some dukes in the HRE. It's more beneficial to not ally with the HRE people because if you ally with them, you're not going to be able to use them as easily simply because, you know, they're in the HRE, so that's not going to help you in a war against the HRE. But we've secured a number of kingdom alliances already, and make sure you don't press play when you're doing this, or there will be a have too many alliances modifier, and they'll put that on you and you won't be able to get as good alliances. But now when I press play, we have Kingdom of Castile, we have Bohemia, we have this guy, we have Denmark, we have Poland, we have England, William the Conqueror. We are stacked as fuck. Now that we've gotten all of those alliances, all we have to do is wait for our throne scheme to go ahead and trigger. Our gigantic son Bohemond has just grown up. Look at how fucking tall he is. This is insane. He is gigantic. Anyways, and we have gotten it. We have just gotten the claim on the Byzantine Empire. He's old. He can't do anything to stop us. And we're gonna go ahead and just start a claimant faction against him. Put ourselves as the faction leader. And just wait a second or two. Alright, we are going to go ahead and press the demands for this. And once that happens, we're gonna call all of our allies. Now, keep in mind, when we call all of our allies here, our prestige, we're not gonna recover our prestige. But our guy is old, he will die soon, and once he dies, our prestige will reset, so I'm not too terribly concerned about that. Anyways, we're gonna raise our armies, and we're just gonna wait for our allies to arrive. And if you'll see, the Byzantine Emperor has arrived. We can probably take him out right now, because all of our allies are getting here. Okay, this wasn't even the Emperor, but we did just annihilate him. We're just gonna defeat him in battle a couple of times while he's on the boot of Italy here. We will rush the mainland, probably Greece, because there's a lot of... Oh shit, come on, reinforce me. Yeah, there's a lot of lightly defended castles over here that we can definitely take advantage of. So if we go over here, we can just siege all of these things down, like, way too fast. We've almost sieged the entire thing down now. 96%. Okay, it does look like... Oh, the French are here. Fucking French. Come here. Alright, if we defeat them in battle one more time, this will be it. We'll be good. We just need to wait for our allies to get here, and then we'll unsiege this land. Once we do that, we should full win. Excellent. We have full won the Byzantine War. We get a ton of legitimacy for that. That is super cool. But we're just gonna disband our armies. We're gonna make sure everything is good to go with our kingdom. So keep in mind, we are 1019 prestige in debt here. We're never going to recover. But if we go over to this war, then we will lose a level of fame. Alright, I don't care. I really don't. Our legitimacy is not going to be affected at all by declaring this war, and that's kind of more important than prestige at this point. But before we declare war, I need to manage some of my vassals here. So you'll see that they're all Orthodox. what you can do is right click them and then select the demand conversion, and I'm just going to go through and demand conversion from everyone here. So I've just finished asking every single one of my vassals to convert. They will pour in just a second here, but to boost my legitimacy and to make everyone like me a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and place some of these artifacts that I have here, and I'm also going to increase the court grandeur of everything, so that way they don't despise me for that. Nice, so we finished all of that, and I'm just going to immediately press our claim on the Holy Roman Empire, and we'll probably be okay. Now that I've done that, it's time to get far more into debt, prestige debt that is, and we're just gonna call all of our allies once again to the war. I accidentally hit yes on this peasant rebellion, so that's a little tragic, but that should be fun. I've gotten the soldiers of lesser fortune perk, so I'm just gonna hire some mercenaries to augment my regular troops here. We've just quelled the peasant rebellion. Some of our allies are already arriving, so we're just gonna push into central Italy here and kind of take out some of this land. So we do have a faction that's about to pop up here, but if we just win the war really quickly, I'm pretty sure we won't have to worry about it. Quickly, let's defeat these guys in battle. We've won. Now this should raise our legitimacy so much that we won't have to worry about anything. We have the HRE, we have the Byzantine Empire. So something that's really nice about having the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire is you can actually just vote for your heir, and that makes it so that he will inherit over other people, have an alliance with you. So something that we could potentially do is, with our alliance to King Vrastislav of Bohemia, if we have some people who really despise us, right? Like this guy right here, he's our ally. We can grant him a vassal as that ally, and once we grant it, this will gain us 30 stress, so we can't actually do that too terribly much. But once we do that, if we look at the faction, that guy was removed from the faction. So because he's our ally, he can't join the faction himself, but he can take vassals who are part of the faction, and we don't have to worry about them anymore. That is kind of an overpowered little trick that we can do. Try not to make them too powerful though. But yeah, if we get rid of one more person, that should fix things, I think. Oof, we are stressed out a little bit though. Let's see, factions. Yeah, so we have lowered all of the factions to being below, so they're not discontent enough to rebel against us, but at the same time we're maintaining our control across the entirety of the Byzantine Empire, which that does remind me, we have something very important to do. The Holy Byzantine Empire has arisen. It is quite wonderful, I will say. I have created a glorious little symbol for it, and now we can go ahead and reclaim Constantinople. This is pretty much the ultimate setup for any game that you can start, and it's all because of Sicily's just insane start and Robert the Fox just being a very insane person in general. Just look at those glorious stats. Looks like something that I can do. Looks like I can force the vote of this guy, Prince Heinrich. I don't know when I got a hook on him, but I did. And now he's voting for my candidate, making him vote number 1. That means I've secured the Holy Byzantine Empire, the entirety of it, for my son. And he will inherit the entire thing, which is really awesome.